Before watching the video, don't forget to subscribe the channel and enable bell notification to never miss an update from us.
Hello everyone, good morning and welcome to Entry Channel. This is Ashima Shukla, and on this video we're going to talk about daily current affairs. So we're going to talk about various news events that have happened, and the days are going to be basically 30 and 31st of October with a bit of 1st November as well. So the perspective of this video, the purpose of this video is that you people get as much information as you can in as little time as you can. So we are going to make it more descriptive with only those topics or those pointers covered which are going to be important from the examination perspective as well. I'll be explaining the news event in certain cases because those news events you might find them in various languages as in the format of question. So I'll be explaining those news events so that they stay longer in your memory, because as we have this psychological fact that detailed explanations retain in mind for a longer period of time. So I'm going to explain a certain news event, and for all those who find any sort of query on any of the news event, you can directly go to the comment section of this video and post your query, and I'll be answering that, or the team will be answering that as soon as we can. Right. So we're going to begin with the news event now. The first one being Public Affairs Index 2020, which has been released by Public Affairs Center, which is an NGO or non-governmental organization. So what exactly is in this index? Public Affairs Index 2020 is basically formed for ranking of the states on various sustainability measures that they have taken and the measures they have taken to keep themselves in the best of these three pillars, which are growth, equity, and sustainability. So governance of states is measured in this, how the public affairs run in those in the various states, the states being as many as possible, and in this the best governed state was also there. So best governed state was Kerala, with the bottommost ranked state was Uttar Pradesh. Now, when this committee was formed, in which all the index related measures were being measured, in that the committee was headed by the former ISRO chairperson Kasturi Rangan. Now, Kasturi Rangan was the chairperson of ISRO from the term period of 1994 to 2003. From 1994 to 2003, Kasturi Rangan was ISRO chairperson, and currently he is the chancellor of Central University of Rajasthan. Right. Now, if we talk about this ranking, over here we have the best governed state as Kerala with a ranking or score of 1.3 something. And if we talk further, apart from the overall ranking, the rankings were also based on three categories: big states, small states, and union territories. As usual, nowadays, whenever a state ranking comes, we have these three categories: big states, small states, and union territories. So in big states, it was Kerala which topped, as the overall ranking was topped by it as well. And for small states, best governed was Goa. And when it comes to union territories, it was Chandigarh which was the best governed union territory. Right. So over here, you need to know all the four rankings overall, and big state, small state, and union territory, who was the chairperson of the Committee for Public Affairs Index, and what are the three pillars on which this index is based on. And the next pointer, that is who has released this index. Moving ahead, Doing Business in India Report 2020 was released, and it was by UK India Business Council. So in this report, basically the trade relations or business relations of India and United Kingdom were there. So it was not about overall, it was about India and UK business relations. Right. So what has been the improvement? Now the ranking has improved from 2.74 to directly 22.9 in 2020. Right. Now, how come has it improved, or what are the factors that have improved it? First of all, as the report states, Atmanirbhar Bharat brought in a lot of opportunities for business circle to grow. Second of all, the relaxation or the ease of understanding of taxes in India, because earlier we had various taxes of various fields. So reducing that and bringing in GST has played a major role. So improvisation of tax system has also been there. Then the land acquisitions and property rights, they have been bit better right now. certain amendments were made, as you might have seen, for business or improving the investment in India. So those perspectives have helped. But what are the obstacles due to which we are still not doing better is, first of all, legal and regulatory boundaries which are there. The boundaries have still not been eased to an extent that it would be the most wanted part, right? GST issues are still there. Although we have made a better taxation system, but still GST issues are rising, as in the tax slabs keep changing very frequently. We have frequent switches in tax slabs, and then various issues come forward regarding GST as moving in of implementation of larger tax slabs to certain areas, right? So that is also one of the perspective things. And the next one is high import tariffs. Tariffs on imports are very high, which also brings in or is a limitation to India. All right, and then we have a certain problems or certain irregularities in alignment with international standards. So certain trades and products have international standards. Those standards are not maintained by India, which brings an up and down on certain prospects, right? So over here we face issue, and then foreign exchange regulations are also kind of strict in India, which bring in the negative part or the obstacle in doing this purpose. Now, apart from that, if we go for a state-wise report, then for the third year now, Maharashtra has maximum incremental improvement. Maharashtra is one of the most favored one for business for the continuous time third, for consecutive third time. And after that, it was Karnataka. The first was Maharashtra, second was Karnataka, and then third came Delhi. The top three for doing business, it is Maharashtra, Karnataka, and then Delhi for investment purposes. Right? Now we'll be moving ahead with the Serb Power Initiative, which was launched by Minister of Science and Technology, Dr. Harshvardhan. So now definitely it's related to science and technology. How? The full form of Serb Power is Science and Engineering Research Board, promoting opportunities for women in exploratory research. So as the full form suggests, in this initiative, basically STEM is going to be promoted. STEM is going to be promoted as in the STEM subjects, which being science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. These are the four subjects in which India has been trying to improve the involvement of women and bringing in gender equality in that area. So promoting children to take these subjects and providing various fellowships is the idea. Since the National Science Day, we have started promotion of STEM in the students field, right? What exactly is SERB? SERB is a statutory body which operates under the Ministry of Science and Technology. Now, if we talk about this initiative, as I told you, is basically for empowering of women. So the target is that first of all, who is going to get the fellowship? 35 to 55-year-old women, they are eligible for getting fellowship, and that fellowship is numbered from 25 to 75. So total fellowships is going to be from 25 to 75, varying in number, maximum 25. And the age group of women who will be getting the fellowship is from 35 to 55 year age. And what are the components of this fellowship is that, first of all, the fellowship is going to be of 15,000 per month. Per month under the fellowship, they'll be getting 15,000, and a research grant of 10 lakh per annum will also be given under this initiative. Right? Now, once in a career, someone can take it for 3 years. It's not like someone can take it and keep taking it. No, once in their career for 3 years, this fellowship is going to be there. Right? All right. Next, we're going to move to mandatory packaging in jute materials has been approved, and it has approved that 20% of sugar and 100% of food grains will be mandatorily packed in jute bags. This is going to improve the condition of farmers and workers in eastern and northeastern regions. Basically West Bengal, Bihar, Odisha, Assam, Andhra Pradesh, Meghalaya, and Tripura. These are the states which are going to be majorly affected by the decision, because the jute sector is one of those sectors of India which is completely dependent or majorly dependent on government of India. So improving this act, which earlier it was 1987, this has been improved to include more jute packaging in the country. First of all, pollution is going to be reduced, and second of all, this industry which needs an upliftment is going to get that. Next, mechanism for procurement of ethanol. Now, ethanol is mixed in petroleum. Since the Black Revolution was started, ethanol has started to be mixed with petroleum to improve the pollution standards, that is to reduce the pollution. Basically, improve pollution standards means to reduce the pollution and to make better biofuels. Right. So ethanol prices have been increased now from basically those ethanols which have been obtained from sugarcane based raw materials, C heavy molasses, P heavy molasses. All of these prices have increased at this time or in this duration, and oil marketing companies are all bound to sell ethanol based petrol products on Bureau of Indian Standards specification. So all the petroleum needs to be sold as per the Bureau of Indian Standard specification. Now, when they're using these products or selling these ethanol mixed petroleums, BISS has released this regulation. When this revolution had come up, it was like 5% of ethanol needs to be mixed. Now the target has been improved. Earlier it was 2025, but now it has changed to 2022. That is 10% of ethanol from 2022 and 20% of ethanol by 2030 is going to be mixed in petroleum. Right? So this was administered recently or changed recently. Right? Now, if you talk about ethanol blended petrol program, Ethanol Blended Petrol Program (EBPP) was launched in 2003, and its basic purpose was to mix ethanol with petroleum and allow the production. It allows the production of ethanol from C heavy molasses and B heavy molasses. Right. Apart from that, another improvement is about GST in ethanol. So GST on ethanol has reduced from 18% to directly 5% tax slab. Since GST has slabs, earlier it was 18% tax on ethanol. Now it has been reduced to 5%. Moving ahead, India-Japan recent developments have happened in which, first of all, you must know that Japan has special strategic and global partnership with India. And recently, Union Cabinet had approved the cooperation on information and communication technologies. Apart from that, for cyberspace, also protection in the cases of cyberspace, we have MOU with India-Japan. This is also a recent one in the September-October. And for 5G, artificial intelligence and supply chain initiative in Indo-Pacific region, this was done recently. Now, for Indo-Pacific region, you all know that Quad meeting was held recently, and in that only it was proposed that Japan and India are going to improve the conditions of Indo-Pacific region, and therefore supply chain initiative is going to be carrying on, and 5G and artificial intelligence cooperation is also going to be increased. Next is Draft Model Act on Land Titles. Now, what exactly is land titles? I'll tell you that, and then we'll move ahead with the draft model. So, land title is whatever certification you get whenever you purchase a land. That certification specifies that you are the owner of this land. So, that is a land title. Now, Model Act is Draft Model Act has been proposed by Niti Aayog. So recently, Niti Aayog has launched this Draft Model Act, and this purpose is to introduce the litigations, and litigations basically have also been efforted to move forward with online portal which was launched recently, whose purpose was to bring in more transparency. Right? You might have seen in the past few videos it was there that portal has been launched that is going to bring in transparency, and now this model act is there which is proposed by Niti Aayog to reduce it further. So in this state government has been empowered for establishing, administering and managing the title registration of all the immovable properties being land and housing properties and stuff like that. So any person who has been aggrieved can appeal before Land Tiling Appellate Tribunal. So anyone who has any issues, they are going to be appealing before the Land Tiling Appellate Tribunal, and that tribunal is going to withhold and see up all the matters which are related to land titling. Currently now, on which background are we running? So currently, the rules of title of land is provided by Transfer of Property Act 1882, and the primary law which regulates it is Registration Act 1908. So Registration Act 1908 regulates the registration currently until this draft model is not accepted, and Transfer Property Act 1882 is for the title of the land. Then we have Railway Protection Force. It had recently launched Meri Saheli initiative in southern zone, and now it has launched it in all zones. So it's important to know, first of all, whose is this Meri Saheli initiative, that is of Railway Protection Force, and second of all, it was begun in which it was in south zone, now it's in all zones. Malabar Naval Exercise has finally begun, has announced the dates from November 3rd to 6th in Bay of Bengal from Vishakhapatnam coast. Now, Malabar Naval Exercise is very important because this time all the 4 Quad countries are there, that is India, USA, Japan, and Australia. India being the host, USA being the oldest partner. Then Japan became partner in 2015, and then Australia, the recent one, which has become partner in 2020. Indian Army has also launched a secure messaging app, SAI, Secure Application for Internet for Soldiers, where it had banned all the social media apps like Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, and various others because of the lack of end-to-end encryption. So they have launched their own app for exchange of messages for the army personnel. So you must know the name of this app. Then Union Cabinet has approved Memorandum of Understanding between India and Cambodia on the field of medicine. So you must know the recent approvals that have been given to various country MOUs. Then New Zealanders had recently done a referendum in which they have agreed to euthanasia. They have demanded that euthanasia should be legalized in India. Then World Cities Day was observed on 31st of October with the theme Valuing Our Communities and Cities. SBI has tied up with edX, which is a non-profit education platform, because it wants to launch its own program or learning program. So SBI is going to launch its own learning program with the help of edX. And world's largest immersed tunnel, Fehmarn Tunnel, has finally begun the construction after 10 years, and it's connecting Denmark and Germany, being the longest mixed tunnel and the longest immersed tunnel of the world. Right? So with this, I wind up the session. We wind up the session over here. Major news events have been covered for all of you. I hope this video was helpful. Do subscribe the channel and like the video, and comment how you like it. And if you find any doubt, you can follow it in the comment section. Thank you so much for being with us, and I hope you have a lovely day. Thank you so much.